Hi, and welcome to In the Real, a podcast for women by women, where we'll be talking about the hard, funny, and random things of life in any walk of life. So come have a seat at the table as we get in the real. Hey guys, welcome back to In the Real. I'm Dina. This is Marcia.
Hey.
This is Heather.
Hey.
And we are all here. It's like I have roll call. I think I do roll call at this point. I want to make sure that other people are not thinking that I'm talking to the voices in my head.
Well, there you go.
If they answer back over a different mic, it's a little bit...
That's a situation. That's a situation.
Tell me how you get that done.
That would be legit.
But I
My own
need a
little
better
train.
than hey, because it feels not like Heather.
Yeah. Well, how would you say it? Hi, Heather.
What's up?
Oh,
Sup?
okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
just
I
nod.
felt Heatherish.
She
did.
That's
I like
just
that.
a lot more gumption and
I like
gusto.
that.
And I was so we were talking about 14,000 things. Listen, one of the main things that we need to do is we need to just, as soon as our booties hit our chairs, our sweet sound guy needs to hit record and just let us go. Because we talk about 15,000 things before we even get on the mics. And then we get on the mic and then we're like, hey,
But we need an intro, apparently.
what's up? I could always plug in an intro later.
Oh.
This is the world of podcasting, guys. Welcome.
Didn't know you could do that afterwards.
I could totally.
We should have just hit record then.
It's in the real.
We solved the world's problems and nobody knows.
Nobody knows it. This
We
is
do.
why we started this. It's true.
we do.
It's true. It's true. We got to hang out with your mom, Marcia.
We did, and she enjoyed it.
Mama
We
Chris.
enjoyed it, yeah.
We adore Mama Chris. She genuinely is one of my favorite people on all the
Right?
in all of the world. She's the coolest. And Heather got to meet her for the first time. And she treats you like she's known you forever, doesn't she?
Right?
She's like, "Oh, you're my family. This is my
What?
sister."
She said that. She's like, we've met before. And I was like, I'm pretty sure we haven't. She goes, no, I'm pretty sure it just must be your personality. And I was like, oh, that is not what most people say about me. like most of the time they're like, have we met?
That's
Do
so
I know
funny.
you?
Yeah.
But she had notes.
She did. from
She
the
had
podcast.
notes. When she said, let me go get my notes, I was like, oh. I
Yeah.
felt like maybe it was a principal's office kind of deal. But it wasn't. It was great. But it was hilarious because I was like, she has notes.
She came ready.
Yes, she did.
She came ready. She has been taking notes. I think one of her most favorite episodes was the one that we talked about, the grief.
Oh, yeah.
And, she has her own story about grief. But, yeah, she was really, like, week after week, though, she's reaching out like, I took notes on this. Not really like when Heather said. And then Dina said. I'm like, oh, my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's really enjoying herself. So
Well, we appreciate
I think
you,
she was
Mama
even
Chris.
introducing y'all as, sisters or daughters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I call her Mama Chris, but yeah.
One of the
we are
ladies kind of
sisters.
looked genuinely
She
confused
did.
for a minute. She was like, oh, you're related?
Well, no, she goes, is she married to your
Yeah.
brother?
And
And
I
I
just-
was like, aw, she's trying to be sweet.
I know. And I was like, no, I'm not married to anybody. So
Oh, my God.
We're
we're
family.
just same parents.
We
what you
family.
think?
That's right. We
Yeah,
family.
she
It was
really
great.
enjoys it. And
It was
she's
fun.
sharing that podcast. She's sharing the podcast with everybody that she
Yeah.
knows.
I handed her those business cards, and she immediately turned right around and handed it to
She did.
the
Yeah,
other
it's
young
My
lady
godmom
that
and the lady that was there. She works
Miss
out with.
Zita.
Mm-hmm.
We got to meet her. Okay,
Yeah.
listen, 60 years of being friends.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is
Yeah. That's
phenomenal.
incredible.
And I know that Heather
Mhm.
like joked, but not, because you were like, this is what this is going to be. The
Yeah.
three of us while this
Yeah.
is all
Yeah.
said and done. I
Mhm.
was like, that's how
mean-
I want it. That's how I
Mhm.
know our girls,
Mhm.
they're growing up together, and it's that space where you go, you live a lot of life.
Yeah.
You go through a lot of stuff, and you got to determine some things. I
Yeah.
remember that one day, you and I, Marcia, see, I point, and then I have to remind myself I need to say who I'm pointing to. Marcia and I go get our toes done,
Your
periodic. Our noses done, yeah.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that. No, our girls did that. That's fine.
Okay.
But our toes done periodically. And I remember you turning and looking at me. Do you remember this? We're sitting in my car, and you immediately just started praying over our relationship.
Yeah.
And that the enemy would not come and divide in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I'm really grateful for the two of you, because y'all know how it is to fight
Mm-hmm.
and have people walk away.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's almost like it becomes that much more precious when you're like, no, I'm going to fight to keep you, because that's what family does.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when you move from that friend space to family, we're family,
Mm-hmm.
you know. can't. I mean, if nobody can tell that we all look alike, it just is that simple.
I mean,
like,
seriously.
I'm the step between you two with my tattoos. With my tattoos, this really, I'm just the missing link. I tell people, they're like, "What? Why you so many tattoos?" I was like, "Cause I want to be as many things as I can." And
you want to be all things to all people.
One permanent way. Anyways. But no, and your mom let me do some of her hair.
She did.
That was a high point of my month and a half. I don't know, 3-4 months. Like, that was awesome.
Then I got the video footage.
I messed it up so bad for fun. Not for fun. Like, I messed it up so bad, but it was so fun.
You didn't even mess it up, though.
You really didn't.
No,
you got it done.
I did. I was really excited. I was like, wow, I can't do this
you hooked
all
her
the
up.
time. I did.
Literally.
Once.
I like that.
One
pun.
strand.
Listen, and it was good. It didn't get taken out.
It did. Really?
It didn't.
It's
And now I
there.
feel real special.
The fact that you were willing to learn.
Oh, yeah. It was
And you
exciting.
did, yeah, it was
And
pretty
she
fun. It
was-
was fun to watch.
So sweet to let her lay
Yeah.
on her.
Yeah.
Which that in itself, because she's like, oh yeah,
So
I know.
Here, Heather, you've been watching. Okay, go ahead. And I'm like,
action.
oh, we're doing this.
I know. I had been talking at that point for like an hour, and I was
Yeah.
like, I was not watching no more because I was just talking, and I'm like, I'm looking at you. I don't see what she's been doing behind you.
Right.
I got to go see this in slow motion because she's
Yeah.
fast.
She is fast.
She's quick.
She's been doing hair for as long as I can remember.
I love
got
that.
mine like, I don't know, over 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's been
Aw.
doing hair a long time. So,
That's a gift.
man.
But now Heather has decided that she's going to do your girl's hair and my girl's hair.
Yes, I
Right.
did.
She's a pro now.
Yeah,
She
she's-
did
I mean,
one strand,
Come
and she is
on.
professional level.
You really should have seen Gabri's face when I told her that.
Oh, I can imagine.
I was like,
She
I
does
did
a
one
poker
strand. I'm
face.
ready to do your hair the next
Got
time
you.
you're ready. She was like, that's great. Oh, no.
No, thank you. Get some more profession
Fine.
behind your
Fine.
name.
Okay.
She's all about being everybody's guinea pig, though. I
That's
don't
so
see why this would not be any different.
Probably because she knows I would get bored after about 3.5 minutes.
It's
She
true.
have half
So-
a head done.
She'd
Give
be
her a
like, you
rat
have
tail
2
or something.
strands. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm done now. I'm done. I'm bored.
That's tough.
I'll
That's
have to call in
unfortunate.
Zeta or Marsha. Marsha, come help.
Finishes up.
Somebody needs to quit. Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of, not really. It doesn't really even put us anywhere close to what we want to
No,
talk about.
it didn't. That was the sweet before the
The sweet
meat.
before the
sour.
the sweet before the meat.
Sweet
I like
before the
that. I like
I
that.
don't want to call it sour. It's a tough topic, but it's not
okay, it is.
sour.
Yeah, okay.
It's a necessary topic. Marsha,
Okay.
bring us on in.
Okay, so I saw a Facebook post. It was what was said to be a family photo, and it was a family photo of what I assume is the dad with the mom and 2 daughters, and the caption was, "Would you do this for your girls?" in reference to men. The dad, in particular, had on a tutu
Okay.
for the family portrait, and it was stated to as if it was done because the daughter, or I would say about 6 years old ish,
Okay.
that she wanted the family photo to be done with all of them in a tutu.
Sure.
And so the question was to the men, would you do this for your little girl? And the resharing, the person that reshared it, went along the lines of, I would do this. I would do this. And it was a male. I would do this for my daughter. You know, I want my daughter to know that I got her back,
Yeah.
that I would do this for her. I would do anything for my little girl.
Yeah.
And what is your opinion? So when you get on Facebook, you're on social media, you're asking opinions, you know, hey, that's what you do. You ask for opinions. So there's this whole comment list of different opinions about what people would do, some highs, some lows, some, you know, everybody
Sure.
had their opinion about it.
Sure.
My simple comment, I have a husband.
Yep.
And my husband has 10 girls,
Yeah.
but he bet not wear no tutu. So
But he enjoys you in it too.
he enjoys me in the tutu, and I have wore a tutu for him.
I have watched the response of this.
I'm going to plug
Sorry.
my ears at this point.
But I'm like, he better not wear no tutu. There are so many other ways that my husband can show
Yeah.
his 10 girls
Yeah.
how much he loves and supports them.
Yes.
And wearing a tutu is just not one of them.
Right.
I think that sometimes I was talking with a friend this past Wednesday at church, and we were talking about entitlement and just how our children can get so entitled and believe that everything goes
right
for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we can get off into the space where it's like, you know, I'm going to do anything. I would do anything for my kids. I'm going to do everything. And there's just so many reasons why we get into that space. Maybe you didn't have, or I didn't have what I wanted as a child. So when I get older and have kids, I'm not going to tell them no. And that can get dangerous.
Yes, it can.
But back to the tutu thing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there are so many things out here that is set to confuse our children.
Correct.
I have a son-in-law.
Yes.
My son-in-law has, he has a Samoan culture.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Part of his Samoan culture is in the ilabalaba.
Explain what that is.
So an ilabalaba, it looks what we would call a skirt.
Right.
It's long.
Right.
And it wraps around.
It's like with a fabric.
It
and you
does.
tie it.
And they wear them for special occasions. They just
Yeah.
wear them as part of their culture.
Yeah.
And that's what he does.
Go look up Hawaiian cultures. There it is.
Ilabalaba.
Yeah.
And my daughters, between the ages of, at the time, 5 and 9, would always ask them, why are you wearing that dress? What are you doing in a dress? You have a skirt on. And, you know, he just, you know, eventually he was like, no, let me explain to you
I love that.
what this is.
Yeah.
It's an ilabalaba. It's my culture. It's what I do.
Right.
So there's a difference between culture and then a man just wearing a dress because his daughter, I'm going to get in trouble.
No, you're all right.
I'm about to get in trouble.
Come on.
Because we have entitled our children to believe that it is okay to do what they want to see done.
Right.
Versus it being a culture and it needing to be done or a purpose behind it.
I like that.
And we would just allow ourselves to do stuff
right.
just because it makes us feel good or it makes us happy. Then we end up in situations where we're upset when things don't go our way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not reality.
And you find yourself compromising in every area. At that
Every
point.
single thing.
Yep. It'll
So,
encroach on you. It's like
it
a
will.
cancer. It doesn't stay in one spot. I mean,
It doesn't.
let's just talk about that, right? It doesn't stay in one spot. All of a sudden it just goes, oh,
Here we are.
you're going to compromise here?
Yeah. I'm going to pull this little thread here.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one over here?
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
you just wanted to say yes to keep a unnecessary explanation. You just didn't have time for it. You just didn't want to go through the whole talk today.
Right.
Well, do you want to go through it tomorrow? How about late at night? How about now?
Yeah.
And they just pulls. I mean, I can remember being a kid and doing this to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just trying to get, well, can you do it at this time? Can you do it at this time? And I think as a child, you don't think of it as manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that word. You don't
Right.
know what that is. But it is a thing
Right.
that we naturally do as humans.
Yeah.
As adults, you have to learn not to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But as children, you don't know anything other than
Right.
It's so
this is-
true.
And then the more you get your way by doing it, is reinforced. This is how I get my way, is doing this
Right.
over and over and over again.
Right.
And having been a teacher and seeing children who've had this,
Mm-hmm.
and having been in juvenile detention and seeing children who've had this,
Right.
it turns into an ugly monster
Yeah,
very
It does.
quickly.
I know it
Yeah.
does.
Because you don't want to have the heart. You don't want to have the real. You don't want to have the real conversations. You don't want to have the hard conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to have this is not what we do. Like, there's conversations that I'm having with our 19-year-old that I may not be having with my almost 9-year-old, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
it's going to be a different space, or I can tell the 9-year-old no, that it just in point blank no, doesn't need an explanation, and he's cool with no explanation. He just knows mom said no. Where with the 19-year-old, I might have to go into a little bit more of a deeper
Right.
because she has a greater understanding at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when you give them that kind of space to where, okay, well, let's have a conversation about it. Why can't we do this? Okay, well, this is why. You know, because like Luke, as we're sitting in our recording studio, here's his picture of his Highland stuff. And, you know, Scottish, Irish heritage, they have the kilts.
Yeah.
And if anybody has seen my husband, he has the most incredible legs. And he looks so good. in his kilt. You do, babe.
But nobody ever would mistake Luke for looking feminine.
You are
in a
correct.
kilt.
As much as the fellas have said, "Oh, I like your skirt," and you could see him wanting to punch them. But it, like you said, this is what they do over there.
Yep.
They do the games.
Mm-hmm.
They do it in garb, their kilt garb. It is the tradition. This is how it goes. So I would say traditionally, things of that nature are cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the tutu, I am in that space with. Did he have pants on? I just want to know, David, were there pants involved with this tutu?
Yeah, I think he had black leggings. I think the leggings may have been attached, but
what? Did Mom have a tutu too?
Everybody had
so
a
it was
tutu
like
on.
a tutu theme.
It was a tutu.
Oh.
It was just the theme of the picture. It was a tutu.
But that's gonna be in your family.
Hey, it is. And at the end of the day, I just put, you know what, to each his own. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm just going to teach my kids the truth. I had a conversation with one of my adult girls.
Okay.
She follows a guy that wore a dress.
I already know where you're going. I know this one.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't. I'm very excited.
Harry Styles put on a ball gown. I'll call it out.
You did. You called him. Called it out. And that's what it was.
And I'm like, mm-mm.
And she wanted, and she was showing the girls, or we had a big conversation about it. I'm like, I don't want that on my TV.
Yeah.
I don't want this music in my house.
Yeah.
And Mom, come on, Mom, why?
Yeah.
You know, what's the issue? And it's like, it's confusing.
It is confusing.
I'm raising girls
Yes.
to learn and know who they are.
Yeah.
If he wants to wear a dress, to each his own. He can wear a dress. I'm not mad at him about it.
Right.
How about it,
Unless
buddy?
he looks better in one than I do.
You know, hey, it was a nice dress too. It was really
Yeah,
nice.
He doesn't though. I'm
But
just saying.
He
doesn't.
But I don't want I'm raising my girls to know who they are.
Yes.
And I'm raising them to understand who God is.
Yes.
This can be confusing. I'm not saying that he's confusing, but there's a potential for it to be confusing.
Absolutely.
And we're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what is your motive? What is your purpose? What is your reasoning? What are you doing? What was the point of it? What was it? What were you trying to capture? Whose attention were you trying to get?
Right.
For my girls, that's the prettiest dress. It's just gorgeous. And I just, I'm like, okay. But anything that we do.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about that a little bit earlier too, down to the color of my nail polish.
Yes, ma'am.
The way I wear my hair, what I put on, I'm thinking about others. How will this reflect my life to others? Because another thing I teach my girls is that, we weren't created for ourselves.
That's right.
God created us to be something for other people.
Yep.
I love that.
So you can't just make decisions that are going to appease you and make you feel good.
Right.
Now, if he did that because he was trying to bring awareness to something of importance, of godly importance.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Then, hey, teach me.
Yeah.
Help me understand. But that's not the vibe I got.
I mean, I
just
think
confusing.
I think it was more in a solidarity or whatever. This is not me trying to defend at all. My understanding of it was when was it during Pride Month or something of that nature? I think
so. That solidarity.
That solidarity.
Okay.
And I think so. I don't remember. So if I am wrong, I apologize.
Yeah.
But I know that when they were talking about the transgenderism and they were talking about non-binary things of that nature, I think it was kind of like, well, guys can. We're going to just blur the lines. Anybody can be anything at any given time. Well, what that has now done is that has. Let's go even deeper. Sports, okay? So we've got now literally men that are coming into women's sports arenas and dominating in the name of trying to be a trans man.
Right.
And it's absolutely destroying like just the fabric. I love that you're raising the girls to be. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being feminine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a female. This is who you are. All three of us have completely different spaces where we bring to the table. You are constantly looking cute, Marsha. Heather is always looking like she's ready to go beat the living crap out of somebody, and it's amazing.
Yes.
And she's got the best hair with it, right? And then I literally look like I just came from the gym. It's fine.
Also ready to
kick some butt. If
but
I have
with
to.
but
all
with
three
glam.
of us,
But
with
with glam.
See, that's where Marsha's the glam. She will slice you and be pretty about it.
Oh yeah.
It is a weapon. She knows exactly what she's doing.
I just pull a pocket and see what's in there. Is it a knife? Is it brass knuckles today? I don't know.
I
We
will
got
be the
surprise.
entertainment that distracts everybody while y'all knock people out.
I feel like, Dean, I feel like you'd be the one that's over there going, "There's a guy on the left. Get that one over there." Like she would be pointing people out.
Yep. It's fine. It's fine.
And then get somebody with an elbow.
We'll do it. It is. We'll do what we need to do. But the point is it's not just the female identity that's being robbed. It's the male identity. It's strong men standing up into that space, right? Your sweet hubby would not go in that arena. He is man. My hubby in his guilt, he is man. There is no denying who he is. You know, when you stand in a space, because it is when you have somebody, specifically a celebrity or somebody that's just trying to appeal to the masses. I believe this man is married, but now you've put confusion in my mind. I don't know where you stand, bro. Like, if you were my husband and you're wearing...
It created a spirit of confusion.
I don't think so.
To be fair, he's standing to make money.
Well, that's exactly
and
what it
I
is.
I don't know the guy. I don't even know who this is. Like, I don't... Was he the guy that was in a band?
Was it One Dimension?
One Direction.
One
Direction. They are about that much. But anyways, Dimension, like, we just lost a third of our listeners. But a celebrity, they do things, not everything, but they do things for attention to get more supporters, listeners, donors, whatever. That's their job. Absolutely. Like, that is, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily go about doing it the way most of them do it, but that is kind of what they've got to make money too. For sure, like, that is their career. And so a lot of times when I see these people, and I've been to Pride, I participated in Pride. It's twisted. Anyways, I went to the nice ones, and then I went to one year, and it was just like, what happened to Pride? Wow. There's no Pride going on right now.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different story. But I would see these people, and I'd be like, why are we having, first of all, we got so many performers come, and everybody's like, I love them. I'm like, but they are not part of the community. At first, it was only people that were part of the community. Melissa Etheridge, Demi Lovato. Like, those, I'll go loose on that one. But people who were part of
she's in that space. Okay. No, good. I got you.
Yes and no.
Okay. She hits for both teams. Okay.
Given the day of the week, I guess. I don't know anymore because it kind of was this whole, it doesn't really matter. Okay. But she, like, we had all these people that were there, that had been in that community for years and years and years. And so having them there was a huge honor, was awesome. And then you started having, we just want bigger names. And so then they're trying to come in and perform and pretend like they were a part of a community that they're not a part of. Right. And I don't mean that in a shunning kind of way. I used to. But like, I was like, you're not part of us, but don't pretend like you are. Don't throw a dress on your body and act like you know what it's like to be confused about your gender, because you don't. And sorry, that came out a little bit rabid. I know. I'm so sorry. But like, don't do it for money. Don't do it to make a scene or to raise to a cause that you don't know about. It is confusing because then you do confuse little girls who don't know any better. Or boys. But this goes on both sides of the spectrum.
Yes.
Because as I began to leave that life, I mean, I looked like the quintessential lesbian. Right down to my work boots and like I looked, and my dress has not changed all that much. my personality has.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had the shirts that were not pro gay, but they were very antisocial.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the personality, the hair, all of it. And that, as I left it, that wasn't what God called for me to change right away.
Yeah.
But it has softened over time. And some parts of me are still that's just who I am. I like t-shirts and jeans.
At the end of the day,
But
there is no confusion.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, there could have been back then.
Right.
But now,
But for
like,
you, no.
right,
I'm
there's
not
no
confused.
confusion.
If you wore your boots, I wouldn't be confused about your gender.
Right.
I would know.
Yeah. And that's the whole point. It's like the t-shirt I almost wore today.
Right.
It had nothing to do with alternative sexuality. It did have everything to do with inappropriate. I got a shirt. It was free. Like, let's just go. I didn't go out and buy it. Like, it was a free send to me. And it was kind of a slightly inappropriate person sitting on a bomb. Anybody knows, like, the bomber Betsy's from the 1940s, but this was a more updated version.
Girls.
It was like, yeah, there you
Yes.
go. It was a more updated version. She was a little bit more.
She's busty.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And I thought, well, I
I'll soften
can't
it
wear
for you.
this. I can't wear this to, like, obviously to church or anything. Plus, the saying wasn't very nice. I was like, I can't wear this to church. I was like, but I can wear this over to my friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no problem. I mean, I put it on. And I stand there in the mirror, and I was like, where it sets on me is not the best area. She's a little bit more busty than I thought once I put the shirt on, and I realized,
Stretching
like,
out.
it did, and I realized, like, you have a husband. And
Right,
and a 9-year-old son who
Yes.
might start asking about, like, what the saying means and
Yes.
all that stuff. And I was like, it would just be wrong
Yeah.
for me to wear this
Right.
for either one of them. It might
Yeah.
not be a problem at all, but it might be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you have a 19-year-old be like, Heather, what
Yeah.
are you doing? You
Right.
know, like, she
Right.
could just look at me and be like, no, what are you? No, why are you wearing that?
Or it might take her to the other space where
To-
she's like,
Oh,
if Heather
people can wear that.
I can
Exactly.
wear whatever I can
And
wear.
that's a confusion as
That
well.
is the
Yeah.
confusion.
We are all called to be accountable for what we are doing, wearing, saying, speaking to God.
Correct.
Whether or not what this person was doing was to help their child, I don't know if their
Right.
child had
That's
been
right.
bullied,
That's right.
some traumatic incident.
That's
I don't
correct.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you can't. I mean, to just throw that out to Facebook is asking to incite
Yeah.
Mhm.
a large discussion that may not ever hit on the correct topic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, like, it doesn't. For their family,
Mm-hmm.
that might have been exactly what he needed to do.
Right.
Maybe he was walking into a new family, and this was, he was connecting with this child. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I can never see my
Yeah.
dad if I ever asked him to wear a tutu. He would ask me to wear one first. He'd be like, "You go first." But I, like, when my parents got married,
Mhm.
he did a number of things to show me that he was a good father who cared.
Mm-hmm.
None of them had anything to do with a tutu. It was actually like Legos
Yeah.
Yeah.
and hiking in the woods
Mhm.
and stuff like that. It was
Mhm.
probably easier for him than
Yeah.
most fathers with children with girls.
Yeah.
But, like, it didn't. He showed me through his actions, sure,
Right.
and his character.
Yeah.
And so I've never, this picture, we were only literally getting the tail end of
A
it.
very small smidget.
I mean,
and
yeah.
that's just the picture that we saw.
And
If
it's
that's even the correct
excited.
picture.
It's yeah, and it's meant to excite. It's not meant. It got shared enough times to begin to incite confusion,
Right.
because then you
Yeah.
don't even know who the person is. I have
That's
no
right.
idea why they're wearing a
That's
tutu.
Right.
Maybe they all survived cancer and they're wearing tutus to stick it to cancer. You have
Right.
no idea.
Correct.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna sit here and afford it to confuse me or
That's right.
kids.
That's
Right.
right.
Like, you're not gonna show it to your kids.
No.
A man dancing around in a beautiful dress.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show them the dress
Mm-hmm.
off of the internet
Mhm.
without a man's body in it.
That's just
You want to
the
look
bottom
at that
line.
pretty dress? We'll find that pretty dress.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the bottom
But,
line. We're
yeah.
not going to put people in situations
To
to
confuse
be
them.
confused.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just the bottom line of it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Correct.
It is about guarding and protecting hearts, pure hearts, innocent hearts, hearts that are learning.
Yeah.
Right.
And until they learn and know the truth or have some truth about what's actually true,
right,
then we're not going to throw anything into their mix.
Correct.
Right.
To have them wondering,
Right.
Yeah.
what is true?
Yeah.
Is it this or is it that? So at the end of the day, Heather just nailed it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know the person.
Yep.
I don't know what his motives were, his reasons behind
Yeah.
what he did. It may have been good. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as for me and my house,
Yes, ma'am.
You will not wear tutu.
thou will not confuse thy children.
Right.
That's right.
And that's just where I stand on it.
I think that's good.
It's the internet, Facebook,
Yeah.
social media.
Mm-hmm.
They have been designed to turn us against each other.
Mm.
You
Not
are right.
inadvertently, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily think it was meant that way. That's just what it does.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna just jump on every band. I mean, I have been very well known to jump on some bandwagons, but it's usually not that kind of stuff. But like, I'll see somebody post something real religious sounding, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna dismantle it doctrinally, theologically. It's getting dismantled." And then I'm like, "Wait, I know the person.
Yeah.
Why would I do that to them? I'm not attacking them. I'm attacking the same."
Right.
But I have to guard myself against doing that.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
And because I don't want to sever a connection with a
That's
person
very true.
over some dumb meme
yeah.
or a man in a dress.
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point in time, they may
Try
they
it
may
again.
have questions. I don't know how they may have questions about that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have cut that connection, that relationship,
Absolutely.
That's good.
when they might actually have questions
Yeah.
about why or whether, or because right now it's not just little kids who are confused.
Yeah, that's so
Correct.
true.
Come on.
Adults don't know
You are right.
truth,
Right.
That's so true.
and we have to remain open to the fact that half the time we're learning truth while we're trying to give it,
Amen.
Wow.
and
Amen.
and we want it to be truth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like on the drive over here, I was like, I don't know what we're talking about. So I was like, God, let it be good. Let it be your truth. I don't want it to
Yeah.
be just pretty words.
Amen.
I want it to be what is truth from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're learning that, and God's like, here, let me throw it in you, and it shoots out your mouth, and you're like, oh,
That was good.
wow,
Yeah.
I'm smart, And he's like, no, you're just dumb enough to keep your mouth open while I talk.
Yes.
Like, but that's what I want.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ever. I don't think I want to ever sit down with somebody and say I know everything
no.
about
Oh,
any
gosh,
given
no.
subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do know some things about certain subjects,
Yes.
and I just want to know enough of God's truth
Yes.
Amen.
to give it.
That's it.
That's it.
Boom.
That's it. So if any of our listeners, your mom included, Marsha, have any thoughts on this,
Mm-hmm.
okay, guys, we want to hear dialogue from
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is obviously a topic we could literally continue to talk about and talk about and talk about because it has so many different
Yeah, it does.
ways it can
Branches.
spin
Yeah.
off. But we're gonna cut it off here, unless you guys have other thoughts. But if you guys have, what is your point of view on this one? Because ultimately, we want God's point of view.
Absolutely.
We want to be created in the fullness of who He has called us to be. Period. Male, female. That's the only two options. That's that I will throw out there. That is the only two options. And in the midst of people that are still trying to figure out the ones that have been in a different option, this is where we want to say, hey, let's pull on that identity. Let's love each other in a space to where we could at least sit down and talk about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what you were saying, Heather, that we become safe spaces for people that are still trying to figure out even what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's what we're calling forth for their lives.
Yeah.
We want the truth to be known in their lives.
Right.
So, all right,
That's
guys, you got anything else? You're about to say something.
No. That
You
was
good?
that was good. It would start a whole nother discussion, so we're not going to go there.
We're not going to talk about it?
We're not going to talk about it today. Someday.
Okay. We're going to talk about it again whenever Heather has more information to give.
Yes. There you go.
I'm excited. All right. We'll see you next time in the real, guys.